right, today we're going to make spiced Indian cabbage. And I start with my pan. I need to put some oil in it and get that heating. I was going to put peanut oil in there just to give it some more exotic flair. But I would say maybe 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I've shredded some cabbage, finely shredded. And here's something new, maybe you haven't seen. Curry leaves. These smell so delicious. And for you farmers who live down south, I'm extremely jealous that you can grow these down there. So I'll have to get a price on that. But you get a bag of these at the Indian food store pretty cheaply. And I'll drop those in the oil and it'll bloom the flavor. But typically with Indian cooking, you have a usual cast of characters. You have cumin seeds. I was generous there, maybe 1.5 tablespoons. Mustard seeds, I would say about 1 tablespoon. And then I blended some chili spice with the hing or the ASOFETIDA. That's a very pungent spice. I'm going to be dropping in a couple chili peppers. I'll probably crack them so some of the seeds add to the heat. And then this is the URAD DAL. Indians will put this in their tempering or their tadka, and what happens is it fries in the oil and gives off a little nutty texture and flavor. So kind of nice with cabbage. All right, so let's see if we can get this heated. Get a little smoke going on. I have it on medium heat, and I'll run a test here and drop a, nope, nothing simmering in the oil. I'm going to drop in my cumin seeds first. Give those a little shake. Get those sizzling. When I go to drop in the mustard seed, hopefully you'll get to see them pop, pop, pop. I'm going to put in my URAD DAL. That coated with the oil. Try not to make too much noise on the camera here. And I'm going to drop in a chili. Break that open. Drop some seeds in. Drop in another one. It's amazing how much flavor those can add even without opening them up. Here it's sizzling. All right, who wants to see what happens with mustard seeds? Actually, let me drop in my curry. I hear that sizzle. Now, some folks leave the curry leaves whole, and I like to fry them up and crumble them because they're really, really tasty, savory. But, you know, if you leave them whole, you just pull them out. Sometimes Indians will serve food with the whole spices in them. You just have to fish them out. And now I'm going to drop in the mustard seeds, so watch out. These guys like to pop. There they go. They're popping now. Watch out. They're actually popping right out of the pan. Can you hear them? Ping, ping, ping. I'm going to pull that off the burner for a minute. Let those finish popping. They actually expand, so they're hollow in the center when you bite them. Nice little crunch. All right, things are looking good, and I'm going to add my hing or ASOFETIDA and chili powder. Oh, it smells so good. That mustard seed is amazing. So this is so simple. Something as simple as these spices add so much flavor. So you want to get those curry leaves a little bit crispier. I'm going to pull them off the stem and crumple them into the cabbage. Okay, I don't want to burn this. I'm going to turn this down. Now's the time for the cabbage. And you just give that a stir. And that's it. It's going to color up. Oh, you know what I did forget? Oh, I can't believe it. Turmeric. Turmeric will give it a nice color. And it's okay that turmeric wasn't in the tempering, because you usually can sprinkle that over on top. It doesn't have to cook in the oil. And I'm going to add some salt. Now sometimes with Indian vegetables, they really season well with salt and serve it over rice, which then kind of balances out the bland rice. You know, picks up some of the saltiness. So then your dish doesn't taste too salty. You could smell this, you wouldn't believe it. The curry leaves, the mustard seeds, those cumin seeds, that chili pepper. And amounts aren't exact. It's always the taste of Indian cooking, because you never know the quantity of your vegetable. You know, when you get, say, an opal squash home from the store, you don't know how big it's going to be. you know, you kind of adjust as you go. And that's about it. See how nice that is? And I've seen children who would never eat cabbage eat this. You could serve this with a couple other vegetables and rice, or this would even make a nice little sandwich in a chapati. Maybe I'll cook a chapati next. Let's see what that's like. Alright, see? Nice, simple, tasty side dish. I'm going to turn it off. Which is really an Indian version of maybe a tortilla, or you might think of a pita. The difference in this is that it is a very labor-intensive process where you roll out the dough, fold it, spin it, roll it, fold it, spin it, and you repeat that process so many times. There's multiple layers of folds in there that once this puffs up, you take your spatula and you press on it, and it'll force air into the many little folds. So in essence, to me, I would describe this as a croissant in pita form. Now what's nice about this, even though it's labor intensive, you get 30 of these, and I'll show you how thin it is. Look how paper thin it is. Okay, I'm going to throw this on the grill right now, or griddle, and we'll wait for it to sizzle and puff up. But you get 30 of those for about $7.99. This particular package is whole wheat. It looks like it has some soy and corn in it as well. So not good for someone with celiac issues. But so what you end up doing is letting high heat, probably could turn it up even a little bit more. You let high heat cause some puffiness. Then I'm going to take this and press and press and press. And I honestly think this would be a great project to introduce to children, because it bears watching, it's repetitive tasking, and you should use a shallow lipped vessel to cook it in. I know the temperature is medium to medium high, but you know, equip them with some safety right off the bat. Start teaching them. The sooner you do introduce children to cooking, the more likely they'll eat what they cook. They take pride in it. I think children love to hear someone say, this is so good. I mean, how can that not affect them? And encourage them, okay, you see some puffiness going on? That little disc is puffy. Now, they recommend you do not let these sit out. You take them right from the frozen state. I have to admit, I left one out just a few minutes, and I could not peel it off the plastic. I had to throw it away. So I agree with that. And in a minute, I'll turn this. Oh, did you see it get puffy? See? Puff, puff, puff. What kid wouldn't like that? I didn't understand why they were always pressing on them. Puff. But it forces air into those many folds, and it's just a very pleasant texture. I don't have a nice skinny little nozzle here, but a lot of Indian cooking, they'll just drizzle a little oil. Let's try a little. There. That was not a little. Oh well, I'll get some off of there. And then if you had a child tasked to this, or maybe a child makes their own while you monitor, these will be pliable. Right now it's getting stiff, but it'll get more pliable as it sits there and steams while you wait for your food to cook. All right, I'll be right back. Here's a finished plate. My curry looks a little muddied. I added some more cabbage to it. The only color I had left was some red cabbage. But anyway, it's nice and crunchy, very flavorful, and I'm going to show you with this chapati. I'm going to rip it, oops, so you can see. There's many little folds inside there, and it's pliable. It stays steamed. So you can either take this chapati and pinch and eat like so, yum yum, or you can maybe build yourself a little sandwich. Got some tomato, and I'm going to save this one and keep it plain because my husband doesn't like tomato. But anyway, you get the idea. Interesting foods, and really this would be something, maybe the curry leaves you couldn't find on the trail, but this would be a great campsite meal. Head of cabbage is easy, and those spices, and it's just yummy, so flavorful, nutritious, easy to store, cook, and eat. Bon appetit!